All right. I wanted to talk about um, where our true answers to all of our questions lie. So basically, a lot of people have questions, and a lot of people think that they don't know this or that, and they chase knowledge. They chase answers, and they chase um, education and experience outside of our hearts. So basically, what they're doing, or most people, what they're doing is that they're going to school. They're going to elementary school, middle school, high school, secondary school, college, trade schools, etc. They're looking to the outside world for all of their answers. They're looking towards family members, they're looking towards friends, they're looking towards television, they're looking towards the government, they're looking towards religion, religious figures. They're looking outside of themselves. And I'm here to say that this is all wrong. This is all wrong. And I'm probably going to be the only one and the first person that's going to say this. That everything that you see outside of your heart is an illusion. It is an illusion created by your mind. Now, there's a difference between the heart, the soul, and the mind. You keep these two when you die. You keep your spirit, you keep your soul, you keep your heart, you keep your feelings, and feelings are the same as the loving force. You keep your mind, and on the other side, anything that you think of, you create immediately. That means if you think of something, it will show up in front of you right away. There won't be any time because there's no time on the other side. Now, where the power originates from to create your reality on the other side is from your heart. That is the engine room of creation. So your heart can be the engine room of what your mind creates. So let me put it kind of in perspective. Let's see here. It would be kind of like your computer, where electricity would be the energy, and the hardware would be your physical body, and the software would be the mind. That's a very, very raw analogy. I don't really like to use that too much. Or of course, like I explained in my past videos, the loving force is an energy, and you can call this loving force anything you like. You can call it light. You can call it the loving light. You can call it God. You can call it sunlight. You can call it electricity. You can call it anything. It's pure energy. Pure energy. And in this pure energy, there is unconditional love. And that's why I call it the loving force. Because it's just not unconditional love, but it is pure white light. It is pure sunlight. It is pure energy. That's why I call it a force. Like electricity is a force. Like gravity is a force. Like electromagnetism is a force. So that's why I call it a force. Because when I say the force, it encompasses all of the electromagnetic spectrum, including all energy, including all sunlight. And I call it loving because that's what it is. This consciousness is all 100% unconditional love. So that's why I call it the loving force. Now I'd like to tell you where this loving force resides. This loving force resides in our hearts. Nowhere else does this reside. So it resides completely and 100% in my heart and in all of our hearts. And this loving force resides in all living beings' hearts. It is who we are. It is who we were before we were born and when we are born. It is where we will return to after we are dead. It is who we truly are for eternity and infinity. It is timeless. That's why I always tell people, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, if you have any fear, to look within your heart. And all the answers to whatever you ask will be there. That will be the origination of all the truth. The truth is love, unconditional love. And so I encourage people to stop looking for answers outside of their own intuition and their hearts. That's where all the answers will be. To look within ourselves to find answers. To look within ourselves. To look within our hearts to find the answers. Not to other people, not to education, not to anything outside of us. For whatever is outside is an illusion and is created by our minds and our fears. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the moment. I had this incredible experience, I think, seeing some people who were truly living in the moment. And I have an ability, I still have an ability, and I'm still working on my ability to see into human beings' souls by looking into their eyes. And I do have this ability, and I think everybody does, but I'm working on it in a much more advanced level. A lot of NDEers, a lot of near-death experience have this ability as well. Anyways, I saw some people living in the moment. I saw into their souls, and I was able to peer into their souls and peer into their spirit, and to know what they were thinking and know what they were feeling and know what they were seeing and experiencing, which was quite an interesting thing. This telepathy and empathy was quite an experience. And I saw these people living in the moment, and I saw what they saw. And it was a communication that was telepathic and empathetic, and that was the only way. Anyways, I would just like to say that that is sort of a good way to live. That is probably the best way to live, because really there isn't any time. Time itself is an illusion.